Nndm finally has their RF communication satellite on the International Space Station. Morgan Stanley is the first big bank to offer their wealthy clients access to Bitcoin funds, and Lordstown Motors is cooperating with the SEC following a short seller report by Hindenburg Research against their business. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John, and this is John Paul Investing. So my first video regarding Nndm and putting their products in space was probably around the end of last year when we talked about L3 Harris and kind of connecting however many dots we could about the grants that they received from the Israeli government and all the money they were raising and using the relationships to, develop a project so where they could send something to space and test the durability and longevity of any of their 3D printed products. So this mission where they sent their RF communication circuitry to the International Space Station is going to be one that is going to test to see just how long these things can last in the harsh environments of space. Nndm and L3 Harris have created innovative methods for additive manufacturing of monolithically integrated RF systems. AME fabrication process was optimized to design and manufacture a single RF communications board for flight studies aboard the International Space Station. This project was 2 years in the making and was selected by the International Space Station, U.S. National Laboratory for Space Effects Studies. The project will provide a systematic analysis of an additively manufactured single board for radio frequency space systems, especially for nanosatellites, and will communicate with a ground-based satellite tracking system at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona Beach, Florida. The primary purpose of the project is to demonstrate the viability of using new technologies such as multi-level, multi-material AMEs, which use 3D inkjet printer-based technologies to produce monolithic RF communication systems for use in space. The fabricated communication device was designed by L3 Harris to operate at 2.4 GHz and to be integrated into the MISSE module and launch. This device will be tested at 3 program points in pre-flight, in-flight, and post-flight. In the first of its kind flight experiment, the hardware will fly in low Earth orbit environment for 6 months on the International Space Station, which will provide scientists with a better understanding of how additive manufacturing of electronics technology endures in various space environments. Low Earth orbit is a region of some 1,200 miles above the planet, is home to the International Space Station, as well as a large number of communication satellites, all of which utilize RF communication systems. The possibility of using AME technology for these RF systems has had arisen in the past, as it offers several advantages, including the ability to produce low-weight, high-performance electronic devices, rapid development time, and the ability to fabricate complex shapes and systems that traditional manufacturing cannot. Dr. Arthur Paulea, senior scientist for the Space and Airborne Systems segment of L3 Harris, commented, "Additive manufacturing or 3D printing is playing a critical role in advancing the development and applications of small and nano satellites and the overall low Earth orbit economy. The applications of 3D printing are broad, touching almost every aspect of research, design, and manufacturing. The major objective of this project is to fly an experiment consisting of an integrated communication circuit fabricated by additive manufacturing and analyze the RF properties of those materials in a space environment. The communication system now on the International Space Station went through the extensive testing in order to prepare it for the mission. Nndm's contribution to this project was extremely important, as their additively manufactured capability is technologically advanced and superior to existing technologies. This project with L3 Harris has been a significant opportunity to qualify our additive manufacturing technology for space applications by fabricating a fully integrated communications board enabled by the multi-material and multi-layer technology of our Dragonfly LDM system," said Dr. James Nolman, Nndm's Chief Technology Officer. The collaboration with L3 Harris has increased the technological readiness of our system towards the TR9 level, which is the highest technology readiness level that indicates the capability for volume deployment in a low Earth orbit environment, added Dr. Nolman. One thing I wanted to add here is something that I read here on Wikipedia, not essentially the greatest source, but pretty much hits the nail on the head where I need it. RF modules are widely used in electronics design owing to the difficulty of designing radio circuitry. Good electronic radio design is notoriously complex because of the sensitivity of radio circuits and the accuracy of components and layouts required to achieve operation on a specific frequency. In addition, reliable RF communication circuits require careful monitoring of the manufacturing process to ensure that RF performance is not adversely affected during the manufacturing process. So basically, RF antennas, RF communications modules are not an easy task to make. So this is where Nndm shines, and hopefully over the next 6 months, they'll be able to prove to us and the rest of the space industry that that their products are superior to anything on the market and that they are going to dominate the nanosatellite and RF communication space. Now, in other news, Morgan Stanley becomes the first US bank to offer its wealthy clients access to Bitcoin funds. If you're in my Patreon group or you watch my other videos, I have been encouraging you guys to learn as much as you can about Bitcoin. I can't go and just tell you to buy Bitcoin. I wish I could, but then that would be financial advice. But I will tell you that you guys should definitely learn as much as you can about Bitcoin and at least get involved in Bitcoin in some degree. You guys do not want to ignore Bitcoin. It is a beast to be reckoned with, I'm telling you. And it is not going anywhere. The investment bank told its financial advisors Wednesday in an internal memo that it is launching access to 3 funds that enable ownership of Bitcoin, according to people with direct knowledge of the matter. So that being said, I believe we still should wait for more confirmation on this, but it looks like, at least regarding to this article, that Morgan Stanley is going to open up the possibility to own Bitcoin for their clients. Wealthy clients. Subjective. 2 of the funds on offer are from Galaxy Digital, a crypto firm founded by Mike Novogratz, while the third is a joint effort from asset managers FS Investments and Bitcoin company NYDIG. Morgan Stanley is allowing only its wealthier clients access to the volatile asset. The bank considers it suitable for people with an aggressive risk tolerance who have at least $2 million in assets held by the firm. Investment firms need to see at least $5 million at the bank to qualify for the new stakes. So you have to have at least a $2 million net worth, whether it's in real estate equity or cash, whatever. You need to have at least $2 million in assets, followed by an extra $5 million in liquid cash in the bank in order to qualify for the investment into Bitcoin. They're not there to hold your hand in the event that Bitcoin does fall in price, and they want to make sure that the people who are investing into Bitcoin know how to manage their money and are able to stomach big beta or big volatility in the markets. But I will add that just because the stock price or the Bitcoin price is volatile does not make it a bad investment. And even for those accredited investors who do qualify because of their high net worth, Morgan Stanley is limiting Bitcoin investments to as much as 2.5% of their total net worth. So they are essentially going to tell you how much you can invest. So if you want to invest more, too bad, you can only do 2.5%. I kind of see a problem with that because if you wanted to expose yourself to 5% through Morgan Stanley, it simply wouldn't be possible. Your next best bet is to pull money out and to buy Bitcoin yourself. Galaxy Bitcoin Fund and NYDIG have minimum investments of $25,000, while the Galaxy Institutional Bitcoin Fund has a $5 million minimum investment into Bitcoin. Clients can likely make investments as early as next month after the bank's financial advisors complete training courses tied to the new offering, said the people. So I'm not sure how much of an implication this has on Bitcoin's price, but we could see some kind of spike in price if we see buying pressure in these underlying stocks, because the more they buy into these funds, the more Bitcoin they're going to be basically forced to buy for the funds. And the more Bitcoin they buy, the less is supplied on the market, because remember, there's only 900 Bitcoin produced per day, at least right now, before the next halving. So that means if there's not enough supply, that they could, in fact, bid up the price because there's simply not enough Bitcoin for these funds or investors that are wanting to invest in these Bitcoin funds to buy Bitcoin. There is simply not enough circulating Bitcoin. And unfortunately, for anyone who is still in Lordstown Motors, they are feeling the effects of the Hindenburg short seller report. Lordstown Motors just released that they're cooperating with the SEC for their probe on Lordstown to make sure that they're not misleading investors. The point of the probe is to create a committee to review the claims of Lordstown Motors. Lordstown reported a $100 million net loss, and essentially now, because of the Hindenburg research and the stock price tumbling, they grab the attention of the SEC. So now they have to go in and make sure that any of the claims that Hindenburg research made are false against the company. I have heard people comparing it to Nikola, mainly for the fact that they have never sold a truck. I don't know, but there is definitely a dark cloud looming over Lordstown Motors until they get through this probe with the SEC. So if this is a company that you're invested in right now, I personally would not be able to hold this stock at this point just because there is so much uncertainty surrounding it. But that is just me. This is not financial advice. But I'm just saying that a company that came public via a SPAC merger and they really haven't sold any vehicles, and the chance that a lot of their pre-orders, a lot of their customers don't even have enough money to afford the pre-orders that they made, is a little fishy and is really not a good sign for the business. Again, something I look for, guys, is proof of concept, and part of the proof of concept is actually selling the trucks. It's a little too soon for me, so for that reason, I'm out. Now remember, guys, you can get 2 free stocks using the WeBull link in the description. All you have to do is click on the link and deposit $100, and then you'll get your 2 free stocks, which you can then sell and do whatever you want with that money. It literally is risk-free money, guys. So I highly recommend you guys check out that link in the description. And also, if you guys want to know exactly when I'm buying and selling specific stocks here on this channel, go ahead and check out the Patreon link in the description. There's a limited number of spots and a few spots have opened up. So if you would like to know exactly what I'm doing, I highly recommend you guys check out that link as well. I've been growing my position in Bitcoin, but I still hold other stocks, and I just invested a little over $3,000 into another stock that is going to be a multi-bagger, hopefully within the next 12 months. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. If you liked what you're watching, please go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I make videos just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.